Hello everybody and welcome to my video. This is not a tutorial. It's just an informative thing talking about memory leaks. Now you might be asking, why am I talking about memory leaks? Well, I've been getting a lot of questions regarding memory leaks, and some people are scared that they might be slowing down their computer because they might they might have forgotten to deallocate memory and so on and so forth. Well, I'm here to inform you that you shouldn't be scared. I just want to inform you on how memory leaks work and tell you a reason why we have to deallocate memory. Well, now in modern days, our systems are more advanced and they're smarter, and they know that a lot of beginner programmers or even advanced programmers might forget to deallocate memory here and there. So the operating system, once your program terminates, it will free up all the memory that was used in that program. Basically, when you just don't deallocate memory, it just basically means that the operating system kind of lost track of that memory that you allocated yourself. But the operating system knows which blocks of memory that you actually used, and it knows that when the program terminates, that it has to free all the memory that was used in those memory, whatever the memory that was stored. It knows that it should free the memory that was stored in that program. So you might be asking yourself, so then if the operating system frees it by itself, why do I need to free it manually? Like, why, that's so much extra work for me. Well, the reason being is this. Um, I said a lot of modern day operating systems have that feature to deallocate it by itself, but some other operating systems don't. Say I was to make a phone app, a mobile phone whatever app, and it was supposed to be for it was supposed to support all phone platforms, right? So say the BlackBerry operating system and the Mac, the Apple operating system, and all of those operating systems had was able to deallocate memory that wasn't being used. But say the Ambient operating system never had it never had that feature. So say it never had the feature to deallocate memory. So my program would work well on all those other phones, but on phones that use the Ambient operating system, after a while it would make those phones crash and they couldn't use them anymore because you never deallocated memory, and it's taking up too much memory on the phone, and therefore your phone renders useless. So you need to do it so that it will, on every single operating system or any platform that you make it for, your programs will run fluently and effectively, right? Another thing is that on extremely larger programs, you might be creating memory and deallocating memory a lot in your program. And for those like large 3D games that require a whole bunch of memory, you're going to require a lot of memory. But lots of the times you won't be using the memory all the time, right? So the memory that you're not using, you would have to deallocate it when you're not using it. The reason being is that if you don't, then if the program requires way too much memory that the computer just simply doesn't have, then your program will in turn crash. And you don't want your program to crash, you want it to run for as long as possible. And say your program was, say, an RPG, and the average playtime for the gamers was, say, 2 hours, and within that 2 hours it would use up, say, 4 gigabytes of RAM, right? You have to be able to deallocate the memory while you're running the program, or else it will use up too much gigabytes of RAM, and it might crash the computer and crash your program, right? Which is something that you don't want to happen. That's why you have to deallocate memory while you're running the program that you're not using anymore, and at the end of the program, so you totally free up memory. And that is just some basic uses for it. Like if you notice in like some 3D games, sometimes when you go to like different maps or different pages, you have to you see like a loading screen. The reason is that because they can't load everything all at once. Because if they were to load everything all at once and store it in memory, it would take up way too much memory, and in turn the program would run too slow. So what they do is that, say on the title screen, you could select new game, load game options, etc., etc. Once you click new game, then the title screen information is, we don't need it anymore, so we remove it from memory. We deallocate it. So then when we go to the loading screen, then we're loading everything that we need for that specific new page, right? And then when we load all that information, then it adds it to memory. And then when we switch to a different map or switch to anything else, then it deallocates it from memory. And then that's how games conserve memory, and that's how they can run so fast. Without deallocating and reallocating memory, then the programs run extremely slow. So that is just a little lesson on memory leaks. You don't have to worry. Once the program terminates, then it you won't have any memory leaks on the main operating systems. So you don't have to worry about it slowing down your computer if you forget to deallocate memory. But make it a good habit, if especially if you're a C or C++ programmer, to deallocate memory. If you're using a garbage collected language like Java or C Sharp, then you don't have to worry about it. But if you're like using a lower level programming language where you need to deallocate memory, then always try and do it. You don't need, I will say that you don't need it in quotations, but it is good programming practice and you will benefit from it in the future. So that's just a little informative session. Hope you enjoyed this, and more tutorials are coming soon. So thanks for watching, and bye.